Good Tuesday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And welcome to Keep Her Quick, your latest local news and weather commercial free in about 18 minutes or less. We're going to jump right over to weather because, Jefferson, overnight we had a little bit of those splash and dash showers, some rain falling as we wake up this morning, if you will. A little bit clearer skies. What can we expect throughout the day today?
Yeah, the rain is out of our region for the time being, and in fact, many of us are seeing sunshine this morning, but there will be plenty of more opportunities for rainfall. In fact, as soon as this evening, rain chances are going to ramp up across the forecast area once again. We will maintain a chance of showers as we go through Wednesday, with more shower potential even on Thursday. By the time we get to Friday, though, plentiful sunshine is going to return for everyone, and in fact, we are going to keep sunny skies all the way through the weekend. And then as we do go through the next several days, or I should say an overarching theme through the next several days, will be below average daytime high temperatures. I'll break down your full forecast and we will talk about precipitation chances and a cooling trend. That's all coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in Yakima County. The Sheriff's Office and the State Department of Fish and Wildlife Police are investigating a fatal hunting incident where a man was shot. Although not much is known at this time, police say that 4 men were hunting in the same party on Saturday at around 5:30 p.m. in the Sunnyside Wildlife area. That's when a rifle discharged, killing 49-year-old Jacob Bloom from Yakima. He died at the scene. Now, this is an ongoing investigation, and we'll keep you updated as we learn more, though officials do want to remind folks that the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife offers education and training opportunities to help hunters have safe, legal, and ethical hunts. 2 men are facing serious charges related to child porn. Local and federal authorities have been working on the case, and one of the suspects was arrested here in the Tri-Cities, while the other was arrested in the Hawkeye State. Federal prosecutors from the Eastern District tell us a 57-year-old man was arrested in Richland on 4 counts of rape of a child. Multiple electronic devices were also seized from his home, and a 34-year-old man was arrested in Mason City, Iowa, on federal charges of producing, distributing, receiving, and possessing sexually explicit images of children in the Tri-Cities. He has also been charged with 2 counts of child rape in Benton County. Both men have had bail set at $1 million. A Yakima man has pled guilty to killing a man and a pregnant woman in a drug smuggling ring. Benjamin Madrigal Burrieta admitted to shooting Cesar Murillo after his co-conspirators shot Murillo's wife, Maria Hernandez, according to a plea agreement. Now, prosecutors say Burrieta, Murillo, and Hernandez were all part of a conspiracy to import and distribute numerous drugs, including fentanyl, meth, and cocaine. Prosecutors went on to say that Burrieta killed Murillo after an argument at a remote ranch in the Yakima Valley, after which Burrieta lured Hernandez out to the ranch, where she was also killed. Burrieta is facing life in prison, and his sentencing is set for March of next year. Kennewick police have arrested a suspect following a hit and run and police pursuit Sunday night. Investigators say a 24-year-old sped away from a traffic stop in a white Mercedes, later crashing near West Clearwater Avenue and causing a power outage. The suspect fled on foot and was picked up by another person. Both have now been taken into custody. Detectives continue to investigate, and power has since been restored. A driver suspected of blowing past a stop sign crashed into school property in Pasco. Police posted these pictures of the crashed blue Mustang. An officer says they saw the Mustang drive past a stop sign without stopping at around 1 in the morning on Sunday. The car then went through a school fence, barely missing a power pole until it came to a stop with significant damage. The driver fled on foot from the Inspired Development Center on Court Street, and police are asking anyone with information about the crash or surveillance footage to give them a call on their non-emergency number. A survey conducted by Light Curve, an internet service provider here in the Evergreen State, shows that over half of the state's residents have been the victim of an online scam, and 95% of Washingtonians are concerned about the threats of them. KIMA's Aiden Connor spoke with an expert about patterns to look out for and how you can avoid falling victim to an online scam.
As technology continues to develop, so does the creativity of scammers.
I think that our scams, the scams that we're seeing, have improved significantly with the use of AI. There's less typos. They look a lot more real. They're able to copy imagery and logos.
Scammers thrive on finding an emotional attachment of someone's and turning it into an exciting yet dangerous quest for the person on the other end.
And then they play on people's emotions. So they, make them offers and promises of things that are really important to them. Maybe they solve a problem for them, free fall of money, or some item that they are, a tangible item that they're really excited about.
There are many different types and levels of scams that are common in today's discourse. Oftentimes, you can find a high influx from social media swindles, dating apps, and what Like Curve says may be the most damaging, get rich fast.
I would say get rich fast. It fixes the need for everybody. So they're looking for that. They're even moving into job boards. So, it's fixing that financial need. We need the source of income. Money is tight. Cost of living is high. And finding that money fixes that need.
While annexing scams altogether is nearly impossible, there are ways to steer clear from scamming activity and keep your identity, belongings, and money safe.
I think there's a couple of things that are really important to consider. I think the first one is, if it sounds too good to be true, we need to just slow down and take a closer look at it. Were we expecting the text or the email or the phone call or whatever form of communication? Find a way outside of that form of communication to validate that it's a legitimate request, or email or text.
Scams have been an issue from the dawn of time, but as technology continues to grow, it's important to make sure that your transactions are safe and trusted.
Okay, I'm Aiden Connor. Thank you. And the Rosa Irrigation District stopped delivering water last week after running out of its seasonal supply more than 3 weeks earlier than usual. Rosa serves 72,000 acres of fruit trees and other crops in the Yakima Valley, but as a junior water rights holder, it's one of the first to be cut during drought years. Persistent drought, low snowpack, and early melt-off has severely strained the Yakima Basin's water system. Rosa tried to extend the season by leasing extra water and temporarily pausing deliveries earlier this year, but it wasn't enough.
They have invested in their infrastructure to try to help get them through with the wells and the ponds, that they can help irrigate the crops that need to be finished when we are shut down. So virtually not everybody has that. We're starting to see this next year out with virtually no empty reservoirs, and we have to get those reservoirs up. That's going to take a lot to do. We need a lot of rain and a lot of snow. That's what we can pray for.
Growers now face the challenge of finishing harvests and uncertainty about what next year will bring. And with that, let's jump right over to meteorologist Jefferson Donovan. Jefferson, they're talking about rain. We need, a lot more snow and snow melt to really help fill these reservoirs. I know we've had some splash and dash showers over the last couple of days. Are we expecting to see any huge systems that could bring a little bit of rain to help fill some of those up?
Well, a little bit of rain, yes. It's certainly not going to fill up any reservoirs or basins at this point, but just getting the ball rolling on precipitation is a good sign. Now, as we take a look at the Doppler radar imagery, we did experience some rainfall, some widespread rainfall last night, but at the time of this filming, you can see most of this rainfall has now moved off to our northeast. In general, our viewing area is pretty calm right now, and we will be calm, or at least most of us will be calm for a majority of this Tuesday, but additional storm systems are going to roll in. In fact, there's a very strong storm system off the shoreline of Washington and British Columbia right now, which is going to bring wide-ranging impact to the Pacific Northwest as we do go through the next several hours and the next several days. First, though, let's talk about this afternoon. We are going to be looking at passing clouds and sunshine early this afternoon before more clouds build in later today. Temperatures in the Tri-Cities will likely climb into the mid-70s today. Look for low to mid-70s in the Yakima Valley, upper 60s to low 70s today in the Kittitas Valley, with daytime high temperatures reaching the mid-70s for the Blue Mountain foothills. Again, passing clouds and sunshine early today, with clouds really thickening up later in the day. Now let's talk about the next 2 days after today. I'm mostly going to focus on temperatures with this graphic. High temperatures for tomorrow will be cooler than today, only reaching the mid-60s to low 70s. And then on Thursday, also seeing mid-60s to low 70s. These days are going to be much cooler than anything we have observed recently. Now let's jump into the Storm Tracker Futurecast to talk about possible rain chances as we do go into this afternoon. Maybe some showers for the Blue Mountains and adjacent foothills, but the rest of the region will be staying primarily dry. As we go into this evening, I do believe the Futurecast is underdoing shower coverage by a bit. I believe widespread showers are going to be possible around the viewing area from this evening through very early tomorrow morning. By tomorrow afternoon, there is going to be a good chance of showers for the Kittitas Valley and Yakima Valley. A good chance of showers for the Blue Mountains and adjacent foothills as well, as we do stay primarily dry in the Columbia Basin, although a slight chance of showers will exist. As we go into tomorrow night, there is going to be a better chance of resurgence of showers for the Columbia Basin, with more of that shower activity continuing for the Blue Mountains and adjacent foothills. As we go into Thursday, a slight chance of showers is going to exist region-wide. I'm not anticipating much precipitation on Thursday, but a slight chance of showers region-wide. And then as we go into Friday, everything clears up for the inland northwest, and we are going to stay dry as we go through the weekend with plenty of sunshine. Right now, I'm going to toss it back to Dave.
Thanks, Jefferson. The Washington State Recreation and Conservation Office has awarded more than $67 million in grants for 105 projects statewide. In Yakima County, the city of Titan received over $370,000 to improve Comple Park for people with disabilities. Planned upgrades include lighting, sports fields, fencing, seating, and accessible pathways from parking areas to the fields. The grants were awarded through a competitive process to support outdoor recreation and wildlife habitat conservation across the state. A recent move at the federal level to cut funding for regional projects has put key programs and the people behind them at risk. KMA's Anissa Williams tells us more.
2 Yakima County colleges are losing federal funding because the Department of Education says their minority-serving status is discriminatory. Today, we're focusing on Heritage University and what's at stake for its students.
I do think there is a misunderstanding nationwide about minority-serving institutions, because while we have the highest percentage of Native American students this year that we've ever had, and while the lion's share of our student population is Hispanic Latino, we serve all students here. We discriminate against no one.
Heritage University is preparing to lose $1.5 million in federal support, a significant hit for a small institution with an annual operating budget of just $25 million. Among the biggest losses are 3 major programs: the College Assistance Migrant Program, the High School Equivalency Program, and a portion of Title V funding used for critical campus upgrades.
We're about 85% first-generation college students, so we really can't afford to diminish the quality of the student services that we provide, even in a time when the funding is shrinking for those services.
But the impact isn't limited to students. Staff members are already feeling the pressure.
We had enough money that we were able to do what's called a no-cost extension and continue those programs for a few months, but our ability to continue them won't extend beyond this calendar year unless we find other sources for them.
As Heritage looks ahead, Gilmer says the long-term goal is to lessen its reliance on federal support.
We really need to become more dependent on private funds, and we've done a really good job of raising money. But my goal will be to expand the story of Heritage University and the request for people to become donors and partners for us outside the state of Washington.
Heritage is set to lose over $1 million in support, and while programs are in jeopardy for students, it's the uncertainty that weighs the most. Reporting for Action News, I'm Anissa Williams.
KMA's Anissa Williams, thank you. And university leadership is expected to meet in October to discuss the future of these programs and how to preserve the people and services at the university. Tri-Cities Prep Catholic High School is celebrating the completion of a more than $3 million expansion project. The expansion, which began in June 2024, saw the addition of 6 new classrooms. Yesterday morning's celebration also included the dedication of a new plaza featuring a statue of St. Michael at the Pasco School.
We didn't have any extra space, and we were actually utilizing one of our multi-purpose room as a classroom. So we just over the last 5 years, our student body has grown quite a bit. So the need was there, and the community stepped up, and we're so appreciative of all the donors and the community members that made it possible.
Now, leaders from Tri-Cities Prep say while no plans are official yet, eventually they want to expand their athletic facilities, which could include a new gym, administrative offices, as well as a football and soccer stadium. A local teacher is being recognized as the 2026 Washington State Teacher of the Year. Gabriella Whitemarsh is a bilingual mathematics teacher at Pasco High School. She was awarded this honor at the annual Educator Award ceremony in Olympia. This is her second award of the year, as she was a 2025 Crystal Apple Award winner. Whitemarsh launched an advanced multilingual mathematics program in 2018, a program that helps students who are often excluded from accelerated coursework earn college credit. It's that effort that landed her these awards.
Very mindful that, as the daughter of immigrants, of parents, I always want to make sure that I'm representing my community well, with honor and with dignity, that I'm representing Pasco, our school, our district, our community, in a way that's going to shed positive light and in a way that's going to showcase how great it is to be here.
Now, Whitemarsh is a Pasco native with Mexican roots. This helps her connect to students with similar backgrounds. A student who has had her since 8th grade spoke about her positive impact.
That she pushes you, that she helps you with whatever you don't understand. Also, I love that she's bilingual. She speaks Spanish and English, and during her classes, she explains in English and Spanish, and that shows how hardworking she is.
As a State Teacher of the Year, Whitemarsh will serve as a teacher in residence for the Teacher of the Year program from January to June of next year. The Fresh Hop Ale Festival, set for this Saturday, has been moved to State Fair Park. Originally at Soza Sports Complex, the festival is making its way to the fairgrounds just a week after the conclusion of the Central Washington State Fair. Now, the city wanted to host the event at a larger venue and closer to the city, with the exception of downtown.
Historically, the Fresh Hop Ale Festival has always been downtown Yakima. In the post-COVID era of festivals, we had to find a facility that gave us more room outdoors. Downtown wasn't able to give us that space at that time.
Now, the festival had been hosted at Sozo Sports Complex for the last 4 years. The event is this Saturday from 5 to 10 p.m. and general ticket admission is starting at $65. Now, a Kennewick woman is 6 figures richer after winning a sweepstakes drawing spanning several states. A celebration ceremony was held yesterday afternoon at Banner Bank in Kennewick to present Linda Lundy with a $100,000 grand prize. Lundy, a former teacher, only put 2 entries into the drawing, which saw more than $600,000 overall.
My first thought was, that's impossible. This person sounds nice, but this is a scam. So when you walk in the bank and somebody tells you that's sitting behind a desk, right, then you start to believe it.
Now, this is the 3rd year Banner Bank has held a sweepstakes like this, but the first to have someone from Washington win. The previous 2 winners were from Idaho. Lundy says she plans to use some of the money to snowbird and the rest to help her family. Congratulations to Linda there on that win. And thank you for watching this episode of Keeper Quick. For more local news and weather, you can head over to our websites. It's keeperkimatv.com, as well as our Facebook pages. But while you're here, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with our latest mini newscasts Monday through Friday. Have a terrific Tuesday, everybody.